again, if it kills me. We're going to get this done. They're not going to block us tonight. We're not going to give in to them because they know I ain't even going to get that deep tonight. I just want to talk about what you're supposed to be eating. And I guess McDonald's and Burger King and everybody else and got together and say, no, pull the plug. Don't let them tell the truth. No, he's going to have the people stop eating our food. Oh, no. We ain't going to do that. Now, I'm going to pick it up right. If you missed the first 20 some minutes, it's going to be some people talking about, well, you should have started all over again. So you know what? Just for the sake of that, no, I'm not going to start over again, but I will pick up my story because we already did some things already. What I need y'all to understand is tonight, I've been asked to talk a little bit about what you should and shouldn't be eating, what you should be putting into your body, and what type of approach you should be taking toward nutrition with regards to the save the Most High, as opposed to the world you live in right now. Even if you don't believe in Yahweh, what you still should be doing to take care of your body. That's what we was trying to get into tonight. And we have to start with a testimony. And I was telling y'all about how I'm not supposed to be here. I give y'all the short version. They said that I was supposed to be gone. I did not believe American medicine. I went to Canada and talked to some other folks up there. I talked to Dr. Layla Africa, rest in peace, up in Indianapolis. And all of these folks taught me all the different things about melanin. And they taught me about the power of melanin and who got the higher level of melanin in their blood. And, and as far as what drugs actually do, drugs, they say a drug that doesn't work on melanin is a drug that doesn't work at all. And then, of course, how they have the melanin conference every 3 years and they never invite us. And I figured the key out. There's two things between talking to him and listening to Dr. Sebi. It began to dawn on me. It was my diet that was killing me. It was my diet that was causing me to have chest pain. It was my diet that was causing me for my face to start to wrinkle up. It was my diet that was causing me to get gray hairs. It was my diet that was causing me to get tired all the time. It was my diet that was causing me to have high blood pressure. It was my diet that was causing my heart to hurt. It was my diet that gave me pains in my side. It was my diet. It was what I was eating. I thought that if I ate more, that I would get better. But no, it's not how much you eat. It's what you are eating. And we have gotten so comfortable in this country that we will eat just about anything that they put in a nice little package and sell to you like it's the next hottest thing. And y'all ran around and got them damn chicken sandwiches from Popeye and stuck that shit in your mouth. Have no idea what it really is just because of a hype program on your mind. And now it's living inside of you. You got people that come to me and say, well, Jay, how did you beat it? It was my diet. And when I followed the diet that they told me, it wasn't easy at first, I'll testify, but a lot of interesting things started to happen. My pains went away. Yeah. I lost all that weight. Yeah. My skin started looking better. Yeah. My testosterone levels went up. I was back. Yeah. More than anything else, my memory started to improve. Yeah. And all those neurons that wasn't growing anymore, not only did they reconnect, but more grew. Yeah. And then something else began to happen. And that's the angle I want to speak from tonight. I think if I had to put a title on this one, I would call it, Who Got My Pineal Gland? Who got my pineal gland? You see, it's two things that you need to understand about us as creatures, black people, is that you have something inside of you that a lot of other people wish they had inside of them. No, it is not the brown that's in your skin. It's inside of you. It is a chemical called melanin. Yeah, you hear people use the term all the time. They'll say, my melanated brother, my melanated sister. People of color have some melanin. White people have zero melanin. That's why the sun is hostile to them. But melanin is not pigmentation. Melanin is a chemical. Melanin. Y'all know about melanin. Now, a lot of people talking about, well, I heard of melatonin. Oh, that's a derivative of melanin. And then some people will say, well, I'm trying to understand what's the difference. I mean, is my melanin high or is it low? And what difference does it make? You activate the melanin inside your body to repair things. You see, all drugs do is just how much they need to either push the melanin to do what it needs to do, or they try to kill the melanin. You see, you have to understand that melanin regulates everything inside of you. It's like, that's what they call a regulator drug. It's a civilized chemical. It regulates everything that's rhythmic about you, from the things that happen when you grow up to when you have your cycle to when you reach puberty, when my voice change, your sleep cycles. It's melanin. Melanin is inside of you. Don't you know that the Europeans, the white man, classifies us by the amount of melanin in us? That whoever has the highest level of melanin is the most superior creature. Do you know who is the highest ranking creature that has melanin? Black people. You know what creature has the least amount of melanin? White people. And everybody else is in between somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? Now, we're two different creatures. This is why I can't get into the diet unless I make you understand that you're eating someone else's diet. And the human body is so magnificent. We're made so wonderfully that we try to put up with all kinds of shit that you put in us. It takes a lot to make the human body break down. But if you're putting the wrong stuff in your body, you're going to get the wrong stuff out of your body. This is going to be hard for some people to hear because most of you are the ones that are killing yourselves. You look out, listen, people always want to get on here and talk about black on black crime when the biggest killer is heart disease. In the black community, heart disease. You have to ask yourself, heart disease, okay, well, did the heart just go wrong? No, the heart is a pump. The heart is doing this thing. You got it work with what you give it. This is a pump that's supposed to run. Listen, the water pump in your car doesn't last for what, 3-4 years before you need a new one? Maybe 5, 6 if you good. But your heart is pumping for 60, 70, 80 years. Supposed to go for 120 nonstop. But no. That be not the case. That's not the case. Y'all breaking down the pump and you're putting junk through the pump. So the pump don't know what to do. And think about it. Everything in your body functions. They say it's an electrical impulse. That's their way of not telling you that we're living electrical beings. You take the electricity out of this body is no good. When there's no more brain activity, electricity has gone. When there's no more heart, the electricity has gone. You are dead. There's no more electrical activity. You are living electricity. And you're powering all of these complex systems. And melanin is the alternator that regulates and keeps it going just right. They classify races by pigments, and we have the highest. Now, don't get offended, but it's the truth. Our chemistry is different from the chemistry of the other race of this planet. Our chemistry is based on selenium, which is liquid gold. We are living gold. Their chemistry is based on sulfur and ammonia. Now, if you know anything about ammonia and sulfur, is that they're strange chemicals. That's why when you walk into a place and they got the heat turned all the way up, see, they got ammonia in their system. So they think it's hot when it's not. That's why when they get wet, you smell ammonia. You smell the ammonia and it smells like, y'all know, I'm not trying to say nothing about nobody, but y'all know that smell. Sulfur and ammonia smells like a dog. I'm sorry. That's what happens. Okay. But then melanin gives us some special abilities, people. Y'all want to know why we're so musical? Y'all want to know why we're so athletic? Y'all want to know why we can do things that other people can't? Because melanin gives you the full spectrum. It lets you see more colors. That's why the brown in your eyes is melanin. That's why you see more. We hear the full spectrum of music. Don't you know no other race can do that? You are truly a magical people. That's why I got to keep my electricity charged at all times. That's why you see me drinking alkaline water. And I know some of y'all gonna come at me and try and tell me you shouldn't be drinking that type of alkaline water. I don't worry about to shut you down later too, because you're going to find out that the pH level in your body, irregardless of how it gets there, has the same effects on your system than anything else. So if you can raise the pH level in your body above 7.4 and you get up somewhere around 8.4, 8.5, don't go too high, because there's a disease that you can catch that we can talk about when you have an overabundance of too much of an alkaline in your system. But if you raise it just enough, no virus, no bacteria can survive in that environment. I'm not worried about COVID-19. I'm worried about the U.S. government. That's much more dangerous. Y'all, excuse me. That was good. So when we talk about what's in your body, before we talk about what you're putting in your body, you have to understand that there is a concerted campaign to shut down your melanin. You see, here's why. Lord, okay, I got to get this to y'all. And I know this is going to be kind of deep. Stay with me. The truth of the matter is melanin, and this has been proven, has the ability to retain what we call ancestral information. There are creatures that if you kill one of the creatures and it births another one, it has all the memories of the last creature. That's what you call the ancestral memory. In melanated people, we had ancestral memory. We could remember everything that our ancestors did through the connection of our melanin. This is just how great Yahweh was to us. But what a lot of y'all don't know is when your children are born or when it's time to induce labor, that they will give you what's called synthetic oxytocin. And when they put that in your system, it blocks the inhibitors that stop you from remembering your ancestors. We don't have access to the ancestral memory part of our brain anymore. That's why when you see children, let me tell y'all the truth. You know why they're experimenting on people in Africa for COVID-19? Because they're melanin people. If they can't experiment on themselves, this shit won't work. It's killing them, but the only way they can come up with a cure is to test it on melanin. So, keeping it moving. They do things to you from the day you're born to shut down two things, your melanin and your pineal gland. Now let's talk about the pineal gland for a quick second. In the center of your head, in the center of your brain, at the top of your spinal stem, there is something called the pineal gland, like a pine cone. That's why they call it pineal. It's called the pineal gland. The pineal gland is the only thing in the body that produces, you guessed it, melanin. And the interesting thing about this is if you feed the wrong stuff into the body, the pineal gland becomes hardened, it becomes calcified, and you lose the benefits because it not only secretes melanin, it also gives you higher abilities. Y'all have heard stories about people who have poltergeists in the house with shit sliding around, flying all around the house, or people that can see the future, or people who can move things with their minds, or people who can astral project and take themselves out, or people who can actually see the spirits of the energies around. You hear all this weird stuff and y'all think that, man, that's some crazy shit right there. That can't be true. No, these are people whose third eye, as they call it, their pineal gland is healthy and is functioning. That is why most folks don't know this. The diet that they feed you in this country from the age of 0 to the time you're 21. By the time you're 21, they have calcified your pineal gland. You know those breakfast cereals they like for you to eat? You know all those sugar and candies they like for you to eat? You know all these little snacks they always pushing at you in the commercials? All of those chemicals are designed to calcify your pineal gland, to stop you from developing the upper abilities that you have. So now all of a sudden you're sitting around dumbified. Now all of a sudden you're sitting around mummified, and you don't realize that it's all because of what you eat. Somebody say, talk, black man. So if you only find out too late, how can you reverse it? Can you reverse the effects? Well, yes, you can. But you got to know more about what's happening with the whole melanin and the pineal gland situation, because it's not a one-time fix. You can't fix it and then go back to what you was doing. Then you have to also understand if you've grown as a person spiritually in your mind, now you're able to take advantage of what the pineal gland can truly do. You see, one of the side effects of me going on this diet change, one of the side effects of me studying like I do was that when my pineal gland woke up, I see things completely different. That's why I see things before y'all do. That's why I'm always telling y'all what's coming, because I'm trying to let you know this is what I can see. It's like having a flashlight. You got a little flashlight and your light only goes so far, so you're doing the best you can. I got a goddamn spotlight, so I can see shit all the way down here, but I can't see all the way to the end, but I can see further than you, and I'm going, yo, look at what's coming. Pineal gland. Pineal gland. There are people sitting here right now that are listening to me that know I'm talking directly to you. How do you know I'm talking directly to you? Because the frequency of my voice is affected by my pineal gland, and it knows exactly what frequency to touch yours. Even if I stop talking, the sound and the tones of my voice will linger in your head, and you'll say something else. Don't believe me? Watch this. Can't you feel that? If you got melanin in your system, you felt that. If you ain't got no melanin, you sitting there like, I don't get it. I just don't know. We're not talking to you. You spectating. Sit your ass to the side. But it starts with melanin. So when you start talking about what you should be eating, and what you shouldn't be eating. I choose to approach it from the perspective of, does it enhance your pineal gland? Because in order for us to get out of the situation that we're in as a people, we're going to need more than just for you to have common sense. We're going to need more for you to have book sense. We're going to need a few people who have some spiritual sense that can see forward and let us know what is going on. We need a few of y'all to start eating right and taking stuff out of your body so you can activate. When you start hearing people talk about, I'm starting to have dreams, I'm starting to have visions, I'm starting to prophecy, your pineal gland is starting to function. It's like an antenna. And and Yahweh is up there sending out messages, and some of y'all just bouncing off your head, and it ain't doing nothing for the rest of you. Like, hold on, I'm getting some, something about to happen, I'm getting some. What do I need to do to tune this in right? Y'all understand? They know this about you. You don't. I went to the doctor one time, and the doctor was standing there feeling all on me, making me feel uncomfortable, telling me, ooh, you must work out. I didn't want to hear all that shit. And then he says this right here, but you have high blood pressure. I said, no, I don't. He said, yes, you do. I said, no, I don't. I said, yes, you do. I said, by whose chart? And he showed me this chart that was made by some Europeans. And I went, well, see, that's the problem right there, doc. That's not me. I'm not that creature. Now, for him, he couldn't stand this pressure that my blood pumps at. For him, he couldn't stand the way the sun beats down on my melanin skin. For him, he couldn't run as hard as I could without it causing some damage. But I'm just fine. We are a different creature, so we have to eat differently. Why? Because we have certain abilities that are inherent to us that we will never be able to utilize when we need them because we're too busy being brainwashed. See, the brainwash is deep. First, we told y'all it was a brainwash about the religion. Then we told y'all it was a brainwash about the election. Now we telling y'all there's a brainwash about what they got you eating. You see, they got you so hemmed up. We got to break out the whole thing. You remember in the Matrix when Neo first woke up and he tore all out the shit and then he was looking around? And we like, what you gonna do, bro? You can't just sit there naked with tubes stuck in you. What's gonna happen? And they flushed him. He could have got away, but he didn't. So the point I'm making is we have to examine what we're doing first and what we need to fix before we start jumping on all this advice to somebody. Well, you gotta eat these, you gotta eat these. I'm gonna ask you why. I'll ask you why. Do most of you all know that they found out that the less you eat, the longer you live? Did you know that? If you sit down and don't eat nothing, just sit back, water and nuts, you're going to live longer, especially if you've already reached a certain age. You see, the body is very intelligent until you give it unintelligent information. So all of y'all who keep putting shit in your mouth and your body don't know what to do with it, you know what it does? It sit it to the side. You keep putting shit in your mouth. Your body don't know what to do with it. It don't fit none of the systems. It can't get rid of it. So what does it do? Put it to the side. You keep putting shit in your mouth, and the stuff that you're eating is not stuff that your body is designed to process so that you can function. So what does it do? It just keeps storing shit. It keeps storing shit. And then all of a sudden the whole system breaks down, and then you got all these problems. You got diabetes, you got cancer, you got heart disease, you got bone cancer. All kind of shit is going wrong because you're putting the wrong shit in your system, and your body is telling you, I'm fucking up. I don't get you. And y'all think it's cute because the people that's feeding it to you, they fed it to you from the time you was here. Think about it. It is. I'm gonna get into this in a minute about what y'all says you should eat and what you shouldn't eat. But the truth of the matter is, you have to stop and think that if the only thing someone is giving you to eat are scavengers. And what I mean by scavengers, I'm talking about animals that only eat dead stuff that falls to the bottom, like, lobsters and crabs and all that shit that you're not supposed to be eating. Those, but not things that swimming through the ocean, things that crawl and eat the dead shit that fall to the bottom. Well, you wouldn't eat a roach, would you? If you would, I don't want to eat at your house. You wouldn't sit there and eat a plate full of praying mantises, would you? I wouldn't sit there and eat at your house. But when you're eating the bugs that crawl at the bottom of the ocean, you're not supposed to be eating that shit either. That's what they are. They're sea roaches, and you just eating them. To nasty self. However, if you eat the right things, the body responds beautifully. Matter of fact, they call it a miracle. No, a miracle was when he fed the 4,000 with a loaf of bread. I ain't figured that out yet. I've tried. The shit don't last past the first row. But the point I'm making is, if you can eat, your body will begin to repair itself if you stick to it. The same way people who smoke will tell you, the moment you stop smoking, your body immediately starts to repair itself, okay? Same thing with people I don't care what you smoke weed, cigarettes, I don't care. Once you stop, the body instantly starts to repair itself. But most of us will eat things and wonder why we have the health problems that we do. And then we'll try to say, well, that's my problem. No, it's not. That's the problem. You don't understand what they're doing to you. So let me spend a few minutes and let's talk a little bit, because I really want to talk about the black organization again, because I want to talk about how that government how the structure actually breaks down. But I did promise some people that I would spend some time and talk about the food part. So look, let me go ahead and start off. So let's start right here. If you're eating any of the following things, I'm not going to tell you what to eat. I'm going to tell you what you shouldn't eat and why. Okay. First, let me back up. You hear this term GMOs. And I don't want to eat GMOs. What's GMOs? Sometime not too long ago, a company named Monsanto, if you never heard of them, figured out a way, and they made pesticides. They wanted to come up with the way that their pesticides would not get into your food so much. So what they did was they started to take the seeds of certain plants, stuff you like to eat, and they modified the DNA. Now they'll say they modified the DNA so that it would be more resilient to pesticides, but that's not what they were doing. What they were doing was modifying them so that they couldn't reproduce, so that no one could take seeds and you and I could not go and farm. In other words, the only place you could get seeds from was from Monsanto. And if you tried to use regular seeds, they will come and sue you and be real gangsters about it. They don't talk about the stuff what they've done to farmers. Black farmers don't make no difference. But what they've done is they're selling you something that is changed. It's not the original design. Look, let me say it like this for y'all who get it confused. Everything comes from a seed. Everything comes. You came from a seed. I came from a seed. Every food comes from a seed. So how can you have seedless grapes, seedless watermelons, you running here eating some shit that was grown in a laboratory? Then you're wondering what, and we the same ones talking about we're not going to let them put a needle in our arm and give us no vaccine, but you're eating stuff that you don't even know that they grew in a lab. And you sitting there, and then you wonder why your body goes haywire. So GMOs were genetically modified organisms. Okay. And that's why a lot of farmers are failing, because they don't want to play that game with these cats. They've taken the food supply and they've turned it into a racket, and they're selling you that shit. So when you go up in the store, the next time you go up in the store and they have a non-GMO, okay, that's a starting place. 444 just hit. Alfalfa, apples, corn, fish, all restaurant food, salmon, sugar beet, soy. These are what they've made into GMOs. Squash, yeast, potatoes, tomatoes, all your packaged foods, eggs, papayas, all your dairy, cotton. That's all GMO shit. It's not real. It's real, but it's modified. Now think about it. If you modify just one gene in the human DNA, you're going to get some shit that like the movie's going to get loose, going to be running around with two tongues like some Resident Evil. That's why you don't fuck with the DNA code. Because just one gene changes the whole creature. You understand what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I don't know if any of y'all remember this, but right before they had the Great Eclipse in 2017, there was a crop circle that popped up out in Great Britain, but it was weird. It looked like it was the sun, and they all seen the shit. It was the sun, and then it had another planet in the middle of it, and then it had these lines coming down, and it looked like they were transmitting computer codes. And on the ground was these two guys that were kneeling down, and they were receiving this information as if their DNA was being upgraded. Changing the DNA code. And some of us already know, and we don't have to get into that here, that when that eclipse happened, some of us received an upgrade to our DNA. And y'all don't have to believe it because you didn't get the upgrade. It's like when I get an upgrade on my phone. Just because you didn't get it don't mean it don't exist. All you can do is see how we speak, see how we carry ourselves now. We don't walk the same. We don't talk the same no more. Our intelligence level is much higher. We can critically out-reason you, and we can also stand up and fight you in ways you never thought. We are the improved version of the atom. So what if we can be improved? Think about what they can do if they start changing the DNA code and you sitting at home eating that shit. All those things I named, they're fake versions. So then you hear people say, well, we should all eat organic. Okay. We should all eat organic. That's true. But everything organic is not necessarily meant for you to put in your mouth either. You have to understand the chemistry of what makes us us when it comes to the melanin and how it impacts your pineal gland before you start shoving shit in your mouth. And the first thing that I always do, and I'm going to start right here because there's going to be somebody going to talk about this because they don't know no better. First of all, let's deal with that first. Before you start eating stuff, Stop drinking stuff. Stop putting liquids in your body that have dextrose, montrose, all the troses. Stop putting that shit. Stop drinking sodas. You know what a soda is? Do you know a fruit called soda? Don't you realize you're drinking something they whipped up in a chemical tank and put in a train and brought it somewhere? And just because they made it cold, you still drinking that shit? Take it and sit it outside and let it sit for a while and watch what happens. That is not nutritious at all, and it's acidic. You're drinking Coke, Pepsi products, it's acidic. It's acid. And when you put acid into your body, acid causes mucus. Acid causes diseases. Acid is a prime breeding ground for viruses. Acid is a prime breeding ground for bacteria. Acid. All these acid foods, donuts and candy, it's acid. We hear people talking about, I got acid indigestion. You're not supposed to have acid indigestion because you're not supposed to eat things that produce that much acid. It's acidic. It's eating away at your tissue. On the other hand, if you decide to take something that's more on the alkaline side, then what happens is the pH level goes up, and all of a sudden the acid goes down, and your body can function. Henceforth, we start talking about alkaline water. Now, y'all always see me drinking this particular water. Some people say, well, I don't know why you're drinking that water. Because I don't know if y'all saw this, but they did a test online not too long ago where they gathered up every alkaline water that was on the market. They got all of them together in one room, and they put a little bit in every cup, and they went and got this tester that tested the pH level. Forget what was on the bottle. They were going to test it for real. And when they started dropping the drops in, what shocked me was the ones that I thought were supposed to be the super duper alkaline, they were no better than the stuff that they were selling like in the dollar store. It was 7.5. Anything under 7.5 is dangerous. And it was like nothing was getting up to 8.0. But then they got to these no-knock brands I had never heard of. And when they put the drop in, whoop, see, the more purple, the royal it turns, the more the pH level is higher. And when they got to this baby right here, which a lot of y'all don't drink, it says 9.5 on the bottle. They tested this. This shit came out to 10.5. I'm like, this is the fountain of youth right here. That one, and it's another one that I got that I found down in South America where it's 11.5. Now, people say, why would you drink something like that? Listen, there are some advantages, in case y'all don't know, of drinking alkaline water. It has anti-aging properties because you have liquid antioxidants that absorb more quickly into the human body. It has colon cleansing properties, clean right out. You ain't all clogged up no more. It boosts your immune system. That's why I don't have COVID-19 and I stayed on planes. Y'all remember the situation? It hydrates you. It gives your skin health. Look, I'm sorry. Look at me. No, seriously, cut the shit short. Do I look like I've been here almost 60 years? Thank you. Now let's keep it moving. So therefore, you also want to be weight loss. Do I look like I'm walking around here swole up, breathing all hard? No, ain't none of that shit happening. Most importantly, cancer resistance. See, cancer cannot live in an alkalinic environment. But they don't want y'all to know that because they make so much money off of y'all treating you rather than curing you. Now, don't get me wrong. You drink too much of this and you're going to have another problem. You're going to have nausea. You're going to have vomiting. You're going to have hand tremors. You're going to have muscle twitching. You're going to have tingling in your face, and you're going to be confused. You're too acidic. We don't know what's going on. Your pH level is too high. We don't know what you've done. So you want to make sure that your pH balance is maintained by food, and it's also maintained by water. You are mostly water anyway. So before you start thinking about what you're going to eat and then talking about, I don't like to sit around drinking no water, you got to drink some water. You have to drink some water, and you have to drink the right kind of water. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the water that comes out of your tap, unless you got a filter on it that can actually detect fluoride, mercury, and a whole lot of other shit, don't you drink the water that come out of your faucet. Y'all don't remember this, but let me help y'all out. Back in around 1999 in Baltimore, B-More, what's happening? There was a dude that was working at the water treatment plant. He lost his job. On his way out the door, click, he cut off the filtration system. And nobody knew it. So all the dirty, nasty, whatever was going right back into the water system. Halfway through the day, people started complaining and shit, who had brushed their teeth, washed their face, boiled water for the kids. All kind of shit was breaking loose. People was having problems with their eyes twitching, seeing shit. Hands was trembling. And finally, they figured out that he had cut off the filtration system because they fired him from his job after, I think he had been there like 23 years. kids. He fixed their ass. The point I'm making is this. Anybody can do anything to you by affecting your water supply. Y'all don't even realize that in the event of martial law, they're not going to come in there and fight y'all. They let y'all have all the guns you want, but all they'll do is turn off the water first to that whole side of town. Then they'll turn off the power. And then they'll keep y'all trapped in there and let you turn on each other. You don't think human beings will do that? Let the water get turned off and be gone for about 5-6 days and it ain't no water. People will turn into animals. Let them turn off the electricity. You ain't got no refrigerator no more. You ain't got no air conditioner no more. You ain't got no way to charge your phones no more. And you can't leave the area. You're going to turn on each other. See, they can control you like that. So if somebody will control you by turning the water off, what makes you think they won't control you by leaving the water on? Come on, I'm trying to tell y'all something about before you are what you eat. Ain't nobody gonna tell you this. Everybody else gonna sit here and try to sell you on monatomic gold and how many neutrons and atoms. This is not where we at tonight. This is practical application information so you can make a decision. And you need to make one soon because fit to fight is fit to win, fit to survive. You might think that it's cute walking around talking about, girl, I'm thick. Let the bullets start flying. Okay? Who you think gonna get hit first? Who you think gonna get caught? Trying to tell y'all something. I'm always trying to tell you what's coming on. Now, before I proceed with the water, somebody said, well, okay, I want to eat to decalcify my mind. What's the first thing I got to do? The first thing I told you, eliminate calcifying foods and beverages. Whatever you're eating, I'm telling you, the food you eat, the water you drink, you have to remove the presence of certain hormones and preservatives and trans fats and chemicals from your diet. You got to cleanse yourself first. I said, Dr. Africa, what's a good way for me to kick off my cleanse? Because I'm ready to cleanse. And he said, well, the first thing you want to do is you want to get you some apple cider vinegar. I said, He said, and then you want to get you some honey. I said, And then you want to get you some filtered water. I said, okay. He said, you take a shot of the vinegar and you chase it with the water and you'll be okay. Now, my non-thinking ass did not listen to what he said. Instead, I went home and I found the Fort Bragg vinegar with the brown at the bottom. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And shook it up real good. And I went and got me a shot glass. Cause you know, when you don't know what you're doing, you think you do. I got a shot glass off the bar and I put it down and I took the vinegar and I poured a whole shot and threw it in my mouth and almost killed my goddamn self because that stuff was so powerful. My lungs seized up. My stomach seized up. My sinuses seized up. I couldn't even inhale. It got into me so deep. It grabbed everything, shook everything up and said, guess what? The shit stops here today. But my body said, yeah, but that's too much. And it threw it right back out of me. It took me a minute to realize what I had done to myself because not only did it kill my appetite, I didn't eat for 3 days. It also made me afraid to put anything in my mouth for about 2 days. But a strange thing started happening. I started losing weight. I started burning the fat that I had on me. My love handles were no longer in love no more. My 2-pack became a 6 again. All of a sudden, I could count my ribs. I could see my ribs again. I felt like I was coming back. I didn't know whose bones these was. This is my face. What it did was it shut down my entire system so that it could clean out my system. Even though I had took too much, because I went back and asked him. He said, no, you idiot. When I said a shot, I meant a tablespoon, okay, in a glass of water with some honey. I'm like, well, damn, I guess I cleaned out everything. I was clean. I was good. So if you want to start with your detox and your cleanse up, you get you some Fort Bragg vinegar and you get you some distilled water, you get you some filtered water, you get you a tablespoon, put that in there, you put a tablespoon of honey in there and you stir it up. Top of the morning, drink that down and go through your day and let it do what it do. It will detox every one of your organs, okay? Your kidneys, your pancreas, your liver, clean you up. You will feel the difference. You're going to feel it again. But then that's just the beginning. Then you got to cut out. This was the depressing part for me. I'm trying to help y'all out tonight. I can't just tell you what to go get because you got to get rid of some stuff. When I read everything that I needed to get rid of, all of the artificial foods, sugars, everything that said sugar on it in my house, because that's not sugar like you have on your dish. It's a chemical, okay? Why is there sugar in stuff that ain't even sweet? Because they're trying to keep you addicted to it. Because they're trying to feed you a chemical that will eventually kill you. You see, the food industry and the medical industry work hand in hand. They're going to make you sick. They're going to take care of you while you're dying. Okay? And the government standing in the middle making all of the money. And the pharmaceuticals are the ones who raking in billions of dollars watching y'all eat this bullshit and then selling you some bullshit drugs about it. But when you start talking about dreaming, like matter of fact, I got a book that just happened to be laying here. In case y'all haven't got a copy of this, this is The New Healing Herbs, the Essential Guide to More Than 130 of Nature's Most Potent Herbal Remedies. If you ain't got this book right here, matter of fact, if you ain't got this book right here, see all the books is in here tonight. This one right here is Prescription for Natural Cures, a self-care guide for treating health problems with natural remedies. When you open this book up, what it tells you is a bunch of food you should be eating. It tells you that the earth will heal just about anything. That's why they're trying to burn the Amazon down. They don't want y'all to know what roots they got down there. That's why they're trying to farm all the land up and put bullshit on it, because they don't want y'all to know, because if you knew your history, the pharmaceuticals will go out of business. If y'all understand the whole meaning of free electricity and free energy, if they hadn't hidden Tesla, the petroleum will go out of business. Everybody's shit will go out of business if we started doing things the way we were supposed to. Y'all understand? Because you are what you eat. Now you got to start eating certain decalcifying foods. It's certain things. It may sound a lot, but the way that you eat, the way that you hydrate, the way that you exercise, all those things will affect. If you're eating simple greens, if you're eating organic, you're eating whole plant foods, if you're eating anything that's neutral, has a direct role, all of those play a role in I didn't decalcify my pineal gland by just drinking vinegar. I had to start to eat certain things. But here's the other thing you have to also know. You have to be conscious. Listen to this. Most of y'all ain't gonna see this one coming because I don't hear nobody else teach this. Yes, it is what you eat, but it's also your environment. Now, we can't change everything about the air we breathe, but we can do our best to improve the environments that we live on. Start by bringing in air refreshing house plants, such as a snake plant or a HEPA filter. You know, those filters you get. And make sure when you're washing inorganic fruits and vegetables that you do a thorough job. And when you clean your home, try for some holistic natural cleansers. Don't go get all them chemicals they want you to spray around the house, air freshening and all that. That's chemicals too. And most importantly, if you truly want to get your insides all right, be careful what you put on the outside. This is an organ. Why you think they want to put stuff on you? Why you think the patchwork when you got to put a filter on your shower? Don't go talking about I'm just drinking filtered water, but then you go take a shower in the same damn chemicals. All of this has to do with what you put in your body. And I ain't even told you a piece of food to eat yet. You have to understand what you're doing before you start doing how you're going to do it. Is anybody getting this tonight? You are what you eat. Now look, it's a few things that you're going to have to avoid, okay? I told you about the GMOs, but most importantly, those of us who are members of the family, the elect, the chosen, the righteous. Now, y'all know we have some very distinct instructions that if you would be so kind as to grab a copy of the Torah and look in Leviticus. You know, most of the time you look around at Leviticus 11, that's when Moses and Aaron was having a conversation with Yahweh and he was asking, you know, about this whole diet situation. And if, you know, y'all keep me legal because y'all know that, you know, I got it up here, but I know y'all got y'all weapons with y'all, so y'all gonna keep me straight. But he said something like, say to the Israelites, of all the animals that live on land, these are the ones you may eat. He told you these are the ones you can eat. He says you may eat any animal that has a split hoof completely divided that chews the cud. That's very easy. If you don't know, take a look at their foot. You see a horse doesn't have the split like that. Then you go and look at some others. Like look at the pig. It's a little different. Okay. There are some that only chew the cud and only have a split hoof, but you must not eat them. The camel, though it chews its cud, does not have a split hoof. It is ceremonially unclean. You must not eat their meat or touch their carcasses. They are unclean for you. You see, they broke down what was clean and what was unclean. Now, if you don't really care about, you know, can't nobody tell you what to put in your mouth. This your body. You're going to do what you do. You know, we all going to die one day. I don't hear all of that bullshit. All y'all say that until you die. Then all of a sudden it's, don't tell mom I'm going to miss her. No, you wasn't thinking about that when you was wrapping your mind around that goddamn 12-pound porter steak. You wasn't trying to hear that then when we was telling you, oh, I'm going to miss everybody. You wasn't figuring that shit out when you was putting carcinogens in your body that you know cause cancer. No, because you can't nobody tell you nothing. You're not going to abide by what Yahweh said because you know you love a number 3. Then you sit around like, oh no, I'm trying to get it back together. No, you ain't trying to do shit because you ain't trying to do it. You're actually talking about it, but you ain't doing it. I had to do it. My life depended on it. It was either that or be dead. That was a hell of an incentive for me. Let me make sure I got this right. So I got to stop eating all of this or I'm a dead motherfucker. You're like, okay. And you telling me that I can't drink no more of this. Oh, I'm a dead motherfucker. Okay. And you saying that I can no longer smoke this no more or do it? You can smoke that, but you can't smoke that. So no cigarettes, but weed is good. Okay, all right. I fucks with that. Okay. Anything else? Okay, all right. Just let me know. Bro, trying to stay. Y'all got to find a reason. If the love of y'all is not enough, then let me go ahead and let me get into the scriptures a little bit more, because I know somebody's going to be like, let me break it down. Okay. There are animals that you may eat if that's your thing, even though you should not consume blood. There's a reason. Here we go. Why do people tell you to eat meat? Oh, because it's protein. You believe that? That is a dead animal. Tell me how a dead animal is going to bring life to a living being by consuming its DNA, which you should not be doing. The same way that they tell you that they are manipulating DNA and GMOs, you messing with your own DNA by eating dead DNA and putting it in your body. But if you can't stop until you get enough, he did give you some things that you could eat. You eat the ox, the sheep, the goat, the deer, the gazelle, the roe deer, the wild goat, the mountain goat, the antelope, the mountain sheep. Last time I checked, I ain't seen none of that running through LA or New York. And last time I checked, I didn't see an ox, a sheep, a goat, or a deer. Well, I did see a deer running through Atlanta, but I haven't seen a gazelle or a roe deer. So you have to ask yourself, what are we eating? And then most of y'all will say, oh, we're eating cows, a bovine that you're not supposed to be eating. And you're drinking the milk. You're not supposed to. Let me tell you something how they got y'all messed up. Let me tell you how they got y'all messed up. To my sisters, when you perform the miracle of bringing forth a soul into the earth realm through the implanting of a body inside of you that you bring forward, only you can do that. You have another function that most people today just totally ignore. What you're not taught is you're not only giving them the baby blood. You're not only giving the baby its conscience, and you're not only being the seat of its soul. You're also giving it compassion. You're giving it emotions. So whatever emotions you have are translated into that child. When the child is first born, and I've witnessed childbirth, been in the room, seen the whole thing go down. What amazed me was as soon as the baby got there, soon as the baby was free from the umbilical cord, the first thing the child wanted to do was crawl up his mother and suckle to her breast. Nobody told the baby which way to go. There was no baby director. The baby just came out, said, cut that off. Here we go. And went straight to work. The baby is not hungry. What the baby is doing is you still are feeding that child emotions. You're feeding that child the rest of its DNA code. You're feeding that child the rest that makes it whole, but they don't want you to do. They want to snatch the baby from you, take it around the corner, give it a whole bunch of shots to make it mess up his pineal gland, mess up his whole system. While you ain't looking, got you around the corner. They done gave you a couple of shots too, mess up they just trying to sabotage the whole. We need one of the first things that I champion that we need once we get the black community back together. Sisters delivering babies, sisters delivering sisters' babies. I want to see black hands on black sisters. I want to see black doctors on black. I don't want to see no more white people pulling my people into this world. Now y'all got me started. Nevertheless, there are some things that you can eat. Like for instance, swine is unclean for you. Okay? Y'all don't seem to get that. They done gave, and some of y'all be like, well, I just can't stand it. I gotta have it. Okay, then you remember to say that to your Lord God when you meet him, okay? You shall not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. Every creeping thing that flies is unclean to you. They shall not be eaten. You shall not eat all clean birds. You shall not eat anything that dies of itself. Listen to what they just said. You can't come along the road and see a dead dog and eat it. But what do you eat? All of these people telling you what you don't eat. Everybody's saying, well, I'm just trying to eat right. You always hear that. They always tell me, well, I want to know what should I be eating. Well, let me give you 5 foods right off the top that will help you decalcify your pineal gland. I already talked about apple cider vinegar, but here's another one. I know y'all gonna hate this. I never said it was gonna taste good, but you got to make it. You got to make it do what it do. Beets. Yes. Beets is one of the favorites because it has what we call vasodilators or facilitators or VDSs. Beets contain boron. That's an element which balances calcium. It expunges fluoride from your system. They also full of what we call B vitamins too, making them one of the best total mind body foods that you can eat. Get you some beets, find a way to fix it up. And then while you're at it, get yourself some oregano oil. Yeah, get you some oregano oil. Oregano oil is most known as one of the most powerful natural antibiotics there is. Oregano oil is an excellent complement to the aforementioned foods that I just talked about. Beets, you can use those, okay? And it's a good way that the tissues that protects the pineal gland, it strengthens them. Did you know that? Yes, it directly affects the pineal gland. And here's another one, iodine. Y'all got some iodine around the house? Normally you see iodine when you want to purify the water or for a wound treatment. But you can get processed iodine that goes into your diet. And that what it does is like spinach, broccoli, those seaweed. I know a lot of y'all doing sea moss right now, kelp noodles, plant-based seafoods. All of that's going to give you that. Here's one that I found in India that really blew my mind, and that was chlorella. When I saw chlorella, it's like, I'm thinking that's the chlorophyll. Why is everybody eating this? And then all of a sudden I got into, it's a single cell green algae, and it goes on the attack against heavy metals in your body. It repairs damaged tissue. It's really one of the best things you can put in your body. You get you some chlorella powder, and you put that in your food, and I guarantee you're going to start to see some super results. Then you got certain types of foods that you should eat. For instance, if you don't like it, get to know it. Fermented foods like yogurt. And I'm not talking about that nasty processed factory shit. I'm talking about real yogurt. That'll reduce inflammation. It'll detox you naturally. You can even set it up where you can have a 3-day detox going on just that alone. Eat you some avocados. Get you some sunflower seeds. Start learning what ancient grains to eat. Get yourself some exotic fruit, some acacia. Get you some goldberries. Get you some blueberries. I stay on blueberries. You know why I stay on blueberries? It's a superfood. Blueberries contain high levels of what we call phytochemicals like flavonoids and anthracises and resveratrol, and they help the body combat inflammation naturally. What's wrong? Your joints hurting? Eat some blueberries. What's wrong? You got a headache? You got the tension there? Eat some blueberries. Okay? That's your snack. I told you, get you some beets. Find you some nuts. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all stay with me. Get your mind out the gutter. Get you some coconut products. Get you some non-dairy milk. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you're talking about going ahead, remember plant-based milks do exist on the market. You got to change up your diet because you are what you eat. And if you're not careful, it'll catch up with you and it'll kill you. And it already is. As a matter of fact, everybody, did y'all notice that during the quarantine, you start seeing people that you never saw exercise? Out trying to exercise, running in the sun and shit, and you sit down, I thought we was under quarantine. What memo did they get? Maybe the memo that they got is that blacks have a natural immunity, or it's going to be hard for their system to get jacked up by this, but y'all need to raise y'all, because if y'all don't, it's going to be a problem up in here. I hope y'all are learning something tonight, because tonight I came to help my people. I didn't come to beat nobody on the head. White folks, I know it was rough in the beginning, but now we're talking about you are what you eat. And a lot of y'all don't realize that a lot of your health problems would go away if you would just eat right. It's very, very simple. And I'm going to be here for another hour because I got some other stuff I want to get into. It's not just the food. We're going to talk about that, but we got some other stuff to talk about. We're just a few days away from the Black Guns formation in Atlanta, Georgia, and Phoenix, Arizona. I need to talk about that a little more, but we're going to finish up with this food thing because your pH balance in your body and how that's affected. And then, of course, you got to let me look real quick. The top 10 reasons why we're dying. And this is what really killed me, because I thought that killing us would be like high on the list, and it's not. Listen, the common causes of heart disease, of heart defects, coronary artery, high blood pressure, diabetes, smoking, excessive use of caffeine, drug abuse, and stress all are affected by what you eat. Do you know that when you eat a piece of meat, it takes 2 weeks to get out of your system? There's more black people running around who know that it takes 30 days for weed to get out of their system, but don't know how long it takes for a steak to get out of their system. And you keep piling on, and then you wonder why your system breaks down. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, cigarette smoking, diabetes, an unhealthy diet, no physical working out, and you're overweight and you're obese. You are a recipe for a disaster. I'm trying to show you tonight how you start the process to go back. We all got fat on the quarantine. Don't act like everybody didn't sit around the house, bored to death, ain't got nowhere to go, and every 5 minutes your ass was in the kitchen. We all did it. I've seen your pre-quarantine pictures, and I've seen a lot of y'all come out the house. The overweight lovers in the house. Shout out to Heavy D, rest in peace. Look, I'm going to take a break. And when I come back, we're going to dive more into you are what you eat. I'm going to give you a list of the superfoods, and then I'll tell you also what you should be buying. And then we're going to get out of that. And then, sisters, it's your turn tonight. We need to talk about the Black woman, strong woman. Okay, we got to get into that. And then we're going to talk about the Black Guns March and what that means, and still got some questions we need to answer. It's Facts Over Feelings on your Monday night. I will be back. Please come back and join me. Tell a friend. This is a private session. If you don't follow, you won't be able to get in. This is not open to the public because there's too many idiots out there who just can't stand hearing the truth. Brought to you with heavy IG interruptions. I have started posting the episodes on the YouTube channel now, so you don't have to continue to deal with IG. If you haven't been to the YouTube channel, it's in my bio. I will eventually pull all my episodes off of here. So if you don't catch them now, they're going to disappear and they're going to go to YouTube. So they will be leaving IG. I'm going to come back after the break, and then we will finish up tonight. Facts Over Feelings. You are what you eat. Real talk.